Stopping by. Today we'll be discussing Rofi. Now Rofi is an application launcher, but it can also act as a power menu and a window switcher. And so the basic workings of this is that you either press a button or a keybind and it pulls up this menu here. In this menu, you either use your arrow keys or you can use your mouse to scroll up and down to the app that you want to go to, and then you just hit enter and it should open up your application just fine. Or you can also search in this search bar here for the app that you're looking for and then hit enter. Now, a way that this can be very useful is if you're trying to access a wine program, because you're not going to be able to find it in run. You'll have to use drun in order to find your application. A good example of this is whenever I type in FL Studio into run. Let's see what happens if I try to type in FL Studio, because it is a Windows application. See, there is no result for that. But if I go over here and click on my button and then type in FL Studio, well, look and behold, we have FL Studio here that we can click on. And while I'm at it, I'll show you how to do some things in a window manager to get it going. But what I decided to do is I created a button, and this button has this text, which is a font icon that I used. And I think this was from the Nerd font. I don't think it was Font Awesome, but I do use those interchangeably. I use both Font Awesome and Nerd fonts for my icons. And I made a connect signal, which means that every time I press the button, it spawns this command right here. And what I did was I used Rofi-show drun for my spawn, but then I used run in my key bindings. And I set the key to mod key plus D. While I'm at it, I'll also show you how to do the window switching. In the window switching, I added mod 1 plus tab, which means that every time I hit alt tab, I can select between the different windows. And then what I did after that was I created another button. And this button is our button so that way we can have our power menu. So if we hit alt tab, you can see the different windows that I've got going on here. The next thing we'll do is create a power button. And this power button, every time it's pressed, it spawns this command. And this command is Rofi-show power-menu-modi power menu :Rofi-power-menu. Now let me show you what this does whenever you click the button. See, you have an option to shut down, reboot, suspend, hibernate, log out, and lock screen. And we'll touch the configuration file in a second, but what I want to do is I want to discuss how to get the power menu working, because the power menu works a little bit differently than, say, your window command. First thing you have to do is you have to git clone. Git clone this repo here. Then you're going to cd into Rofi-power-menu. And here's the thing I'll tell you about this next step. Go look in your home directory and see if you have a .local/bin folder. And if you don't have one, then make the directory. If you do have one already, do not make one. The next thing you'll want to do is copy /Rofi-power-menu into /local/bin. And then you'll want to cd #. Then we're going to go into BIM and edit our .bashrc file. And in this file, at the very end of the file, we're going to add export path in capital letters equals double quotes $, home in capital letters /.local/bin : $ path in capital letters and double quotation mark. Go ahead and save that and exit. You might want to do a possible reboot. I'm not sure about that. But once you've done that, you should be able to access it by Rofi-show power-menu-modi power-menu : Rofi-power-menu. And now that we've got our power menu set up, let's go all the way to our configuration file. And our configuration file is going to be located in .config /Rofi/config.rasi. And if you don't have one of those already, just make a new one with Vim. And so if you take a look at my configuration file, you can get an idea of how to better customize Rofi. So configuration is in this entire curly bracket here. Modi, we have the modes window, run, and drun. You don't need to put power menu in this already because we already have it installed and it executes by itself. We don't need Modi or anything like that to get it going. KB-cancel, which is keyboard cancel, as in how do you cancel Rofi? You can press escape or alt F1. Obviously, you can customize those key bindings. Whenever you're running drun, you can have a display format. So like, for example, I have the icon and then a space and name. And I do want to show the icons whenever possible. My icon theme, I use Papyrus Dark. I like using Papyrus. And the font that I use is Open Dyslexic Nerd font. size 12. But you can use whatever font you want to use. I just use it because it's in conjunction with all of my other programs that use this font. And as far as @theme, we're going to put double quotes /dev/null double quotes, because we're not going to be pulling from a file in particular, because this is our configuration file. So this definitely needs to be added in there, so that way it's not trying to pull a file from somewhere or give you an error. And you can customize all of the elements in your Rofi menu. But the customization, there's just so much to it. I would rather let you guys go to someone like Eric Murphy, who has a great video on it. I'll leave a link in the description down below. And if I find any other resources, I'll make sure to put them in the description of this video, so that way you guys can see more about people's customizations. For me, the only thing that I needed was like a background color and text color. And then after that, there were some things that looked kind of funky, so I changed the main box, then I changed element selected, and then I changed window. So basically what I'm trying to say is that the background was black and then the text color was white, but then there was nothing else. So the main box, which was this box here where it says drun, the background color was going to be the white color, and then the element selected was going to have a border of 1, which is this thing here that you're seeing move up and down. And then the window has a border of 1, and it's white as well. So I'm recording this after I recorded the initial video, but I wanted to show you guys my current configuration because I've got rounded corners now, and I wanted to show you guys how to get that. So basically what you do is you go down here to window, you put the border radius to 20px on all 4 of these, and then you set the transparency to screenshot, so that way you don't get the harsh corners. And now we've come full circle. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and press that like button as well as the subscribe button. Anyways, that's going to do it for me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.